Okay, so I just got finished recording a video with Nick, and it inspired me to make this one. So what we just did a Q&A. We asked Twitter, just, you know, like the basic Q&A type deal, and it got me thinking about questions that I would ask people in the house if I were asking them and what I would really want to know. So I came up with some questions, and Nick is going to be my first guest on this. I'll see if I continue to do this, but I think you guys will like it. Hopefully you like it. And they're going to be more serious type questions, so I think that's a good thing to have. And without further ado, let's do this. Okay, so Nick is going to be my first guest today. So obviously you guys, hopefully you know who Nick is. He's pretty much my best friend, so this is good to...
Jesus Christ. I've been living in the house for a goddamn year.
I wrote down some questions. The first one's not too serious, but then they progressively get more serious. Let's see.
I have no idea what these questions are, and I'm not even gonna read them, so.
And for the sake of this particular video, I will answer them as well, just because I don't want you guys to think I'm asking questions and I don't get to answer them as well. It's just if I decide to do more of these videos that I don't keep answering the same questions. So I want to keep these questions kind of, if you guys have other examples of questions like these after we go through them, then go ahead and leave a comment down below. And if I like some of them, then I'll throw you in the video and say like, this came from this person. So what is your favorite memory from an event and your worst memory from an event?
Favorite memory from an event is probably, dang. I have a lot of really good memories. I have a lot of memories with like Matt, Dude Lethal, and APG. We've done quite a few things to where we'll like stay after an event and just kind of like explore Cali almost. Another, which might be my favorite, would probably be winning the 2009 National Championships with like 3 of my best friends, really. Demon D, Cloud, and Clutch. That's definitely something I'll remember for the rest of my life. Now, as far as worst memories at an event, a lot of people may or may not know about this, was definitely New Orleans, when, long story short, 2 girls robbed me for like $500. But it's not even, to me, that obviously sucks. And a lot of people would make that their worst memory, but it's a pretty good memory because it's a pretty good story.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen that story, it's on my channel somewhere. Me, basically threesome, not trying to...
The shameless plug.
Yeah, not trying to plug my YouTube, but it's a threesome turns into a robbery. I got robbed at an event by 2 chicks. That's my worst.
Just like hearing that title just sounds so much worse than like anything someone can imagine. Like threesome turns into robbery.
Oh, it was terrible when it happened. But then like looking back at it now, I'm like, that's actually pretty funny.
I have like really good memories from like winning tournaments. Some that stick out are my first event, which was Orlando 2011, like first event that I won. That was obviously like an awesome experience. Winning the Halo thing with them in, what was it, November of 2014? Yeah. That was one that really made me happy. Yeah. Like that one was really, really good. When it was me, Lethal APG, and him. Because
that was like 4 best friends, and going into it, we kind of took it as a joke.
Yeah, almost. We didn't even...
And then we ended up just winning it.
I remember like a week before the event, I was like playing COD, obviously. I was playing Ghosts, and one of them hit me up and were like, hey man, you got selected to be like one of these captains, and you can pick your team. And I was like, all right, bro, let's just go to Cali and hang out. Like, we literally had no intentions of winning. We were just thinking like, all right, if we get top 3, then this would be like a good little paycheck and we could just hang out and like have a good time. But we ended up winning it, and it just made the whole experience just so much better that it was just incredible. Okay, as far as my worst memory goes, this is gonna come as kind of a surprise. I haven't ever really talked about it on camera before. So at Columbus 2011, it was my first event ever going by myself. And prior to this, I'd only been to 2 events, and they were both, one I was with like my locals, and that was Anaheim, and then I went to Dallas, and my parents actually came to the event with me just to make sure I was flying to like, not go to some like, I don't know, fucking, I don't even know what could possibly go on in the parents' head, because they're thinking I'm just going across the country to play video games with like older dudes, so that sounds weird at first.
Yeah.
So this was the first event that I actually went to by myself. and I had a flight at like 5 in the morning on Monday. So I was just sitting in my hotel room at like, just getting ready for my flight, and I just had to make sure I didn't miss it, because if I missed it, then my parents would be like, you can't go to these events if you're missing flights, you know? And it was really expensive back then. And I was going down the elevator, I had like 2.5 hours till my flight. The elevator ends up breaking down, right? So I'm in this elevator by myself with my luggage, and I'm stuck in this elevator for like, I don't know, like maybe like an hour and a half.
I don't even know this story.
Literally just sitting in the elevator, scared shitless. I wasn't even that high up. It was the fact that I felt like so alone. And when it finally turned back on and went down to the lobby and I go to the front desk, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? This guy literally looks at me and he's like, oh yeah, that happens sometimes. And I was just like, what? And I was just like, ever since then I've been super afraid of elevators and getting in them by myself. So that's definitely my worst. Next question, who inspires you most in life?
I would say two people I look to when I feel I need it the most, I guess, would be, of course, my mom is always an inspiration for me to do, you know, just succeed in life and be happy. But other than that, I would say my two people I kind of look for inspiration are Joe Rogan and Alan Watts. I look at their, I don't know if this is weird because it's just literally me watching them on YouTube, but just their wisdom about life and just their ideas and principles about making your life better and just becoming a better person and stuff like that. I would say those two guys right there are people that I think everyone should check out, Joe Rogan and Alan Watts. If you haven't, just go check out some of their YouTube videos, just stuff about, they just talk about life pretty much.
I think my dad kind of inspired me the most. I haven't really searched for too much inspiration recently in terms of life, but I think my dad kind of laid out a foundation of how exactly I'm supposed to carry myself and treat other people. And I think he showed me, like he's always worked really hard and been like successful, and he showed me what to be like when you are in that situation, to where you're not taking it for granted and you are making the right decisions and not blowing all your money and stuff like that, and showed me how to just be happy with like the simple things in life rather than being too materialistic. So,
and not to cut you off, I've met Formal's dad, and obviously I don't know what goes on besides the fact of me like meeting him and stuff, and the guy works like a madman, but for the time that he's off, at least what I've been around him, he's like the chillest, nicest guy ever.
What's the biggest pet peeve that you've always had? What's the first thing that comes to your mind, the biggest pet peeve about other people or situations or anything? What's the biggest pet peeve? I think my biggest pet peeve is when I see someone trying to be someone they're not. When you know how a person actually is, and then see them acting a completely different way depending on the situation, I hate that. I just want to be like, who are you? You know, I've always hated seeing people not just be themselves or not thinking they could be accepted for themselves and they feel like they have to act a certain way. And I've always just hated that.
I can't think of something that like pisses me off. Something that annoys me is, or a pet peeve would be people that are socially unaware to where they don't know like when to shut up, or they don't know when that wasn't the right time for you to say something.
I hate that too.
Stuff like that. I guess just
like they don't even know that they're saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Like, but everyone else is like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, like what is this guy doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't even
like
know
they don't know that they're like not really welcome there, but they're like still trying to be like the fucking light of the party.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess socially unaware people are a pet peeve of mine. Sounds kind of fucked up.
I mean, if it's a pet peeve, it's a pet peeve. You can't really change it. What did you want to be growing up? Like seriously, what did you consider as a serious possibility for you?
I honestly don't fucking know. I did at a time, I think, consider, this was all before video games, of course. I think I saw myself playing college basketball at a point. I wasn't making it to the NBA. But college basketball at a point, but then after that, it's like, I don't know, I never really had a set, like, I was never the kid that wanted to be a police officer or anything like that. Yeah, I'm not really sure if I had anything in mind that I wanted to be.
Yeah, I think I wanted to be a doctor for a long time, and then a vet. I just wanted to like, I wanted to feel like I was helping something or someone.
I will say, as I was getting older, I did think about, I was like majoring for the few years I did go to college in like psychology, and I did want to be a psychiatrist.
It's really weird you said that.
But other than that, I don't think anything came to mind for me.
Yeah, it's weird you said that, because more recently when I thought about it, like what I would be doing, I'd want to be like either a therapist or like a psychologist. I want to like understand exactly why someone feels a certain way, and it's like, it's really interesting to me how much can be going on inside of a person, and you'll never be able to tell.
Yeah.
But I've always found it super, super interesting. I think that's what I would pursue if I wasn't playing.
Also, I know I said I didn't know, but now shit's just like clicking in my head. Also wanted to be a music producer. That's something and it's still a possibility for my life. Like, if the whole gaming stuff kind of stops and I'm still kind of doing YouTube, I think I'm gonna slowly start getting into like music production.
That'd be dope. What is your biggest regret in life?
Damn.
You want me to go first? What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, my biggest regret in life, starting back to when I was first in school, I think I've always regretted not exactly taking making the most of every situation. And what I mean by that is I let my insecurities or timidness kind of block me from actually doing things that maybe would have put me out of my comfort zone, and I was always inside my comfort zone, and I would stay there. I wouldn't do anything that would make me be bold or something like that.
Like going up to a girl and like starting a conversation or something?
I guess, yeah. I mean, yeah, like it's weird because it's such like a vague thing, but I just wanted to be bolder and like do something that would really like stamp my name. And I never did anything like that growing up, and I've always regretted not doing something like that. And I don't know what would be a good example of something I could have done, but just anything that I could look back on right now and be like, damn, that was fucking legendary, you know? And I know, or like epic, like those are like the only two words I could like describe it as.
But it's weird because you are like so young. Yeah. It's like what legendary shit was you?
I don't know.
When I was 16, that shit was legendary.
I don't know, man, but just
I see what you mean though.
Yeah. My advice to
staying in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
It's definitely something hard to get out of.
Yeah.
I forget what a quote is. There's some really good quote about one of the most important things is living outside of your comfort zone, or like breaking outside of your comfort zone, not staying in your comfort zone. My biggest regret is probably, I would need some time to think about this, but something that's on my mind right now would probably be how much of an asshole, how much of an asshole I was as a kid. I was a bad kid. I had a smart mouth, and I think I put my mom through a lot of stress, and I don't know why. I just had an attitude problem, and I don't know what changed it. I don't know if people can like see me now and be like, yeah, I could see that as you, but like I think I've done like a complete 180 from that. But I think how I was as a kid, I regret that. But I was a kid, it's like I wasn't like very conscious back then.
You didn't know any better.
Yeah. It's like I did know better, but it's like I couldn't control it. I don't know. I was just a badass kid, and I put my mom through a lot of stress.
What do you think is your worst trait, personality trait?
I'm not sure if this would count as a worst. Okay, these are difficult to just like hear and then give an answer. something I'm not good at, and I try to work on, is I don't text back people. I don't return phone calls. I'm very much, I guess you could say, a loner. Not that I don't, because people see me go out to bars or clubs and I'm dancing on the dance floor and stuff. So it's not like I'm like super shy and I'm like in a shell. But when it comes to like returning phone calls and just doing things I really feel that are necessary, like calling my mom, checking up on people, making sure people are doing all right. Not that I don't care, because I really do care. It's just I don't know, I just stay to myself a lot, and I don't, I guess, express how I really feel, and maybe sometimes I give off the wrong like vibe to people, to where they're like, why is he like kind of ignoring me, like that I do something, but it's not that at all. It's just something about me that I kind of just stay to myself.
Yeah, no, I can completely understand where you're coming from. I'm the same way in a lot of that sense.
Yeah, and I think that's why our group of friends, like me, you, TJ, Brad, like our group of friends kind of like resembles, we all kind of like resemble that idea.
Yeah, like we don't have to go out of our way to like talk to each other, just because we know that they're not, like, you're not just ignoring me or something. Like,
yeah.
we just all think like a similar way. No, I agree a lot with that. I think that's something I suffer from too. I think I wish sometimes that I was a nicer person. And I don't mean that as in like I'm a dick or anything. I mean that I come off as a dick to people that don't really know me too well, and they don't understand that, for one, I have resting bitch face and I look like I'm kind of always pissed off. And
I kind of do too.
Yeah, and two, if I get into a really good conversation with someone and I can really get to know them, that's when they'll think like, oh, he's a good person. But my initial like meeting someone and trying to care like about what they're saying, in my head I care, but I never really show that. Yeah. And they might think like walking away like, wow, he was kind of a dick. And I've always kind of hated that about myself, because I know when it happens. And I've always hated that. The last question is, have you ever been in love, and what does that word mean to you?
Have I been in love? I will say I have been in love. It's weird because when I was dating that person, it was definitely like, I love you, you love me. And then it's kind of like you sort of fall out of that spell. And then
the honeymoon stage.
Yeah, but a lot of people just end, and that's like kind of it. And you don't really talk to that person anymore, and it's kind of like there really isn't much, there's like not love there anymore. Yeah. But with this person, it's like I do still love them in a way. Like I still, with my love, when I was in love, it's not like, yeah, it kind of starts fading away and that's why you break up, but it's still, and then like a year later, I think you realize like, I really did love that person. And even till this day, I would say I still do love that person, but not in a way that I want to
pursue it
and like, you know, boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, it's just like you'll always
like,
care about them.
Yeah, it's like I'll just, I guess, always love that person. And it's I feel like it's very rare to feel that way about someone maybe, but it's definitely happened for me. What does love mean to me? I don't know. I feel like there's two types of love. There's unconditional love, which would be, I think, with your parents. Like my mom, my brother, it's just unconditional love. I think they could do something terrible that I completely don't agree with, but for some reason I would just love them regardless. And that might just be like a family thing, I don't know. But there's like unconditional love, and then there's like love with like a girlfriend or boyfriend type of thing. So what does love mean to me? I really don't know how to answer that question. I will say we have a joke in the house that love isn't real. And I will say that love, it's not love, it's your brain tricking yourself to reproduce and keep the human species alive. That just sounds fucking dark, as if it's like love doesn't exist, but that's also one way to look at it. But there is something with love, that there is some kind of like energy between two people after a long time, that it's, I guess that would be the word for love, that it's just some kind of connection that you have with someone, and it's very rare to get.
So I believe that I'm in love right now in this time of my life, so I can kind of explain to you guys exactly what that means to me. I think love is it is a hard question to answer because everyone has different opinions of it, but in terms of being in love with someone and not like you said, loving like your mom or your dog or something, I think being in love with someone is knowing, like, truthfully, without any like shadow of a doubt, that you would do anything for that person. There's nothing more that you want to do than make that person happy. You don't want to ever see them sad, and if they are, you want to do everything you can to make them happy again. You want to completely and like openly understand each other, every little minute detail about each other. I think you want to be best friends. You want to be able to enjoy doing anything and everything with that person. And I think that there's also a certain line of like selflessness that you should have in it, to where you would just do anything to make that person happy, because that makes you, I don't want to say happy, but it makes you feel like blissful almost. Like you just want to be in that person's life and be around them all the time. You want to,
without sounding obsessive.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? It's not like an obsessive type of thing. Like, it's not like you're stalking them. It's just that you know in your heart that that's what you want to do above all other things. You want to like give yourself to them, but also you want to take care of what they're giving you. It's not, you don't want to take anything for granted, because I'm sure everyone that's watching this video has had a heartbreak, and they think about all the things they should have done. And I think when you're in love with someone, you need to know in your heart and your head that you don't do those things because you love that person. Like you don't treat that person the same way as you did your 6th grade first girlfriend. You know, it's different. And I think everyone at some point in their life should be in love. I'm not sure if it'll happen to everyone. I'm not gonna say like go out there and go find your soulmate. I'm just saying this is the happiest I've been in a really long time, and I hope everyone can experience the same feelings that I have had recently.
Yeah, hopefully one day.
Anyways, I didn't mean to make you guys sad or emotional or anything. And I know this video was kind of long. It was a different style, but I want to know what you guys think about it in the comments below. If you guys did like this and you want to see other Optic members featured in this type of video, just let me know. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like the video, make sure to do the fucking thumbs up thing, and I will see you guys next time.